Okay, ladies and gentlemen, excitement continues to grow with this completion of this project, and now you're at step 4. Step 4 requires you now to do some research. So let's recap. You've picked a poet, you've picked 3 of his or her works, you've compared and contrasted those 3 works, and then you've written a synthesis of what is similar about the works, what is different, and basically kind of dug into a little bit of author's craft and made some connections on why you like the poems or what appealed to you about them. At this point in time, we're going to start researching our poet. I have a graphic organizer for you here that you are going to fill out, and it's in chronological order. And some of the topics on the left are what you're going to be researching. Now, it's important for you all to realize you may not use Wikipedia for research. Say that again. You may not use Wikipedia for research. Big, big, big information here. You may, however, use multiple other resources. Poets.org is always a good one. And you want to make sure that you're cross-referencing your information. The purpose of cross-referencing your information is to actually validate it, to make sure what you see on one site, the birthday of that poet, is the same on other sites. So you want to use multiple sites to collect this information and gather it. And then once you have this filled out, maybe check an alternate site to make sure everything is in line and everything is similar. Okay? You don't want conflicting information or incorrect information in your research project. Along with that, you're going to need to make sure you record and cite all of the resources you use, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But just as a heads up, any research site you visit and any information that you pull from that site needs to be documented. Otherwise, it's called plagiarism, and you all know what that is. So when you research, you're going to go to your websites, and the topics here are in the graphic organizer on the left. You're going to need to include such information as the birth date of your poet, interesting facts about his or her parents. Does your poet have siblings? If so, how many? Did they all survive? Any early schooling information you have, and where did your poet grow up? You can actually put your notes right in the box here. If you want to copy and paste from websites, that's fine, as long as that doesn't become part of your project. Again, you may not copy and paste direct lines unless you're quoting them, so you want to make sure they turn into paraphrasing. Your poet's midlife through death. Did your poet fall in love, have children, etc.? Was there any higher education involved? How did he or she become a writer? What some other careers that your poet might have had? I know a lot of other poets had, this was a side career for them. Any awards that they've won? And how did they die? Finally, how would you write like your poet? You've already done the research in what is similar among all the poems that you've researched. So what are some topics that your poet writes about? What are some techniques he or she frequently uses in his or her poems? A lot of similes, a lot of rhythm, a lot of rhyme, a lot of alliteration. That was from part 2, so you should be good to go. Part 3, so you should be good to go on this. Is there a consistent mood in his or her poems? I'm going to show you below. If you're writing Edgar Allan Poe, you're in love, but at the same time you are morbid. Okay? And is there a world or personal connection influencing his or her writing? We talked a little bit about that with part 3. Okay? Moving on, make sure I have a graphic organizer here for a bibliography, so any sites you use, any research that you pull from the internet needs to be formatted and cited. There's options for books here with one author, a book with 2 authors or more, and a book with an author and an editor. And then most of you are going to go to the highlighted, which is MLA format for a website. And it explains to you how to put in MLA format whatever websites you visit. Keep in mind you'll need to know the author of the article that you're reading, the article title, the title of the actual website, the date the article was posted on the site. If there's a sponsoring organization, you can include that. Not all websites have a sponsoring organization, in which case you would just omit that. And then the date that you accessed this site. So for example, today is October 1st. I accessed a particular website on October 1st. I would include that, because some websites are updated daily. And then the actual web address from the browser, which you're just going to copy and paste. There's an example here, the Academy of American Poets. I researched Edgar Allan Poe. It's poets.org is the title of the website. The article was posted between 1997 and 2013. It doesn't give me specifics. The sponsoring organization is the Academy of American Poets, and I accessed this site originally on October 24th of 2013. And then here is the address from the browser. You need to have this in the exact order and the exact punctuation as shown to have a properly formatted MLA format. You're going to write your bibliography below. So any websites you visit. Again, no Wikipedia, okay? And that should continue through all of your classes unless you're doing something digging deeper into how Wikipedia changes. You really wouldn't use Wikipedia as a valid cite unless you're getting some quick information that you're not really needing to be correct all the time, okay? So your goal is this graphic organizer, and again, to start citing your sources in part 4. Have fun with this, and we're going to turn all of this information into a poem in step 5. So once this is done, you can look at the lesson for step 5, and it will become a poem. Have fun.